Honesty compelled him to admit that Chanel had interests other than the hunt and the skirmish, but at least he did not prefer those other things to all else. Yet when Zahava attempted to press Rohan into other activities, his own wife and daughter flew at him like furious she-dragons. Zahava grinned to himself as he rode through the scorching heat toward Riven Rock Canyon. Tobin should have been born the male child. As a young girl, she had been able to outride and outknife any boy her age. Marriage and motherhood had calmed her, but she was still capable of black-eyed rages to match Zahava's own. Part of Chanel's marriage contract stipulated that she was forbidden to bring a dagger into their bedchamber. Che's idea of a joke, of course, which had brought howls of laughter from everyone, including Tobin, but it added to the family legend, which was something Zahava despaired of Rohan ever doing. Not that Tobin was lacking in femininity, he mused, glancing at Chanel again. Only a completely enchanting woman could have captured and held the fiery young lord of Radzin Keep. After 6 years of marriage and the birth of twin sons, the princess and her lord were as besotted with each other as ever. A pity Rohan hadn't yet found himself a girl to stiffen his spine and his manhood. There was nothing like the desire to impress a pretty girl to turn boy into man. Zahava's prediction proved accurate. The dragon had chosen the lookout spire at the canyon mouth for his perch. The hunt paused a full measure away to admire the beast, dark gold as the sands that had hatched him, with a wingspan greater than the height of 3 tall men. His malignant glare could be felt even at this distance. "A real grandsire of a beast," Che murmured appreciatively. "Have a care, my prince." Zahava took the caution as it had been intended, not as a warning that he might lose this contest, but as a reminder not to damage himself during it. If he came home with more than a few scratches, his wife would alternately coddle his injuries and rage at his clumsiness in acquiring them. Princess Malar was as legendary for her temper as for the golden looks so rare here in the desert that she had passed on to her son. The 20 riders fanned out, taking up positions according to the etiquette of the game, and Zahava rode forward alone. The dragon eyed him balefully, and the prince smiled. This was a profoundly angry beast. The stench of oil was rank in the hot air, oozing from glands at the base of the long, spiked tail. He was ready to mate the females hidden in their caves, and anyone who distracted him from his purpose was marked for a painful death. "Hot for it, aren't you, devil jaws?" Zahava crooned, low in his throat. He rode at a steady pace, his cloak blowing back from his shoulders, and stopped half a measure in front of the rocky spire. Striated sandstone in a dozen shades of amber and garnet rose like the flame tower at Zahava's castle of stronghold. The dragon clung to the stone with claws thick as a man's wrist, balance easily kept despite the repeated lashings of the golden-black patterned tail. The 2 rulers of the desert sized each other up. On the surface, it was a ludicrously unequal contest. The massive dagger-toothed dragon against one man on horseback. But Zahava had an advantage that had made him the champion in such encounters 9 times before, more than any man living, and part of the family legend. Zahava understood dragons. This one burned to fill his dozen or more females, but he was growing old and knew it. There were battle scars on the dark golden hide, and one talon hung at an unnatural angle, damaged in some earlier combat. As the great wings unfurled threateningly, showing the velvety black undersides, badly healed tears were visible, as well as crooked wing bones that had not remeshed properly after breaking. This might be the dragon's last mating, and Zahava suspected that the beast knew it. Nevertheless, he was capable of giving the prince a good long battle. But Zahava understood something else about dragons. Though notoriously cunning,